Hello, I'm going to show you how to fix the mini LifeJacket Jolt. The issue with this is the light is on. If you were to try to power it off, it will not power off. Even after holding it and pressing it, the only way to power it off is to drain the battery, and it's been on for about like 3 days and right after a charge. So yeah, it's relatively simple. They're made to be fixed easily, so let's get into it. Okay, so the tools you'll need is a Phillips screwdriver. It has to have a long neck, not too long. It has to be at least this long before there's any obstruction. And you're going to need a prying tool. You could probably use like a butter knife or like a set of house keys. And then some preferences is to have something to sort your screws in. You could use this or a magnetic mat. They're pretty cheap, but if you don't think you need it, then it's fine. You just need to keep up with the screws as you disassemble it. Okay, so the first thing you do, take your speaker, and there are 4 clips on each side. Basically, you just pull them out like this. Yeah, I've had this speaker for about a year now. It sounds phenomenal. I really like how it sounds, but the only few problems I have with it is it takes like a second and a half to start whenever you press play, because it's like in rest mode. Okay, so the next thing you'll need is your prying tool. You need to, there's 4 on each side for this front plate. So you basically just pry up. And then once you get it enough so that you can put your tool under and then just lift it up. Can't really break it, it's not that fragile. Yeah, and I like that these things are built like tanks. I've thrown it in the water, I've brought it in the shower, sprayed water on it, thrown it in the pool. You can actually submerge it in water, and they actually and they sound just fine. Okay, so the next thing you need to unscrew is there's 6 screws on this backside, or oh, that's weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7. It's not symmetrical. So during this part, you should have your screw sorting materials handy. Yeah, the speaker, it's Bluetooth, and there were some options for like wireless charging or something, but I got it for $30 at Best Buy, which is a pretty good deal. I think, at least, because it's Bluetooth. It has it's got like it's also a portable battery, so you can charge your phone off of it, even though it's not a very good one. I think it's about 1,000 milliamp hours. I'm not sure how batteries are truly rated, but it'll keep your phone from dying. It won't charge it up very many times, but that's not the main reason I use it for. It sounds really good. It's really good for, well, I'm a bass player, so it's really important to hear like the low ends, and you can hear all of that stuff. I have no complaints. Now I've opened this before, and now that I'm on the 7th screw, I'm going to see if it's okay. Well, now that it opens up, if any screws fall out, make sure to just keep track of them. So this is the top. This is where all the buttons are. This is your circuit board, and this is your battery. This is the speakers. So, so what you do is you find the battery, which is the power supply, and you unscrew the battery bracket. Now the first, so there's 4 connections. One of them's probably to the headphone jack. One of them's to charge the device. The third one's for the battery, and then like the 4th one's for the speakers. Oh, there's a 5th one I see. It's probably for like, I don't know, the headphone jack or something. But this one that's behind the capacitor, I think it's the capacitor. This 3rd one from the right. So like this is the top. So the 1, 2, 3. The 3rd one from the right is the power supply. So what you'd want to do is unplug that. Okay, so now that the power supply is unplugged, you have the battery. The specifications. Oh, it's 2,400 milliamp hours. You take a look at that. It looks like you should be able to replace these. I'm not really sure how, but it's got a specification on it. And once you unplug it, probably leave it for a few seconds. The light's now off, and you could plug it back in. Now when you put it back in, you want to keep the frame in place, or just have it handy. And it plugs in with the latch on the left side. So make sure your device is oriented the way I have it. The power button is on my left, and this, I don't know, Bluetooth button is on my right. So these latches should be pointing to the left. And since the power supply is unplugged, if it's easier, if it's easier, then go ahead and plug the USB. This is the USB. It's used for charging your device. So since that's out, it's more accessible. So now that the battery's plugged in, I'm going to plug everything else back in, and at this point the device is functioning. So I'm going to align this frame back up, and we're going to check for the powering on sound. I'm going to turn it on.
Power
And the reason it sounds a little muted is because everything needs to be in frame. So it works fine. If I were to play music out of my device, then it'll play. So now that it works, I'm gonna take this screw that goes to the frame of the battery to keep the battery in place. Yeah, come in.
No. The Wi-Fi's back on. This nigga leak computer Wi-Fi is not fucking working. He has an Ethernet cable in, and then I went upstairs to see if it's still connected. And yes, it is.
Unplug it and plug it back in on both sides, maybe. Unplug all the Ethernets from the router, and unplug it from Lee's computer and plug it back in.
Gotcha.
You can try that.
Do you get hot and shit in these little things?
No.
You need to.
I'm making a video right now. Shut my door, please and thank you. Now this screw, I think the screwdriver's a little too big, so I'm gonna use the Protect toolkit because it fits a bit more accurately. I have a better bit set. All right, perfect. So we're gonna put this back on. We can turn this off. We don't really need it on at the moment. So now that it's closed down, all of the screws they stayed in. I'm gonna. I took one of the screws out because they fell out. It wasn't secure. So it looks like it's this upper left one. Yeah, we're just taking the steps in reverse, and then once these screws are snug, they don't need to be too tight. They just need to be tight enough because you can always tighten them more, and they also have a metal grate protecting them from falling out. And the thing about these tools is that they don't fit. They can't reach. I guess they do, huh? I don't know. I don't think they fit. They might reach, but not really. Okay, so now that that's on, we're gonna take the grates. We're gonna put this on. So this is the back side. The back side faces this this square. You can tell the front and the back because the front has the emblem on it. Now you sort of want to put it down all at once, evenly, so that you don't bend the material, because it will bend. It's pliable. And it might take a few tries, so don't be worried. So this is the front, the the emblem goes to the bottom, and the bottom has this. I think it's for drainage or something. I really don't know what this is for, but this hole is where the bottom is, and the top is where the buttons are. So yeah, now that that's on, we can put on the cover. So just make sure to align all the buttons, and the charging hole should be on the left. All right. And there you have it. You want to make sure to clip all of these rubber things back into place, and you're good to go.
Powering on. Welcome to Alltech Lansing.
So basically what we just did was disconnect the power supply and plug it back in. There might be some component like just wear and tear because I've had it for about a year and some change, and I might be able to I'll take a look at it to see if there's any more issues like corrosion or whatever, or if something needs to get switched out. I'll take a look at it. Maybe it might be the battery, but yeah, so that's how you fix the mini LifeJacket Jolt. Thank you.